I want to mention the subject of non-duality. This is a becoming increasingly popular idea. Not that it's new. In fact, nothing's new. The the idea really comes from this. This this is my ever useful diagram, except now I've produced a slightly smaller version I can hold up that doesn't seem to have a conflict with the television camera on this Zoom system. The white area is oneness, love, consciousness, light, all these things. What it is itself. I mean, we can apply words to it, but those words are only meaningful to our finite brains because we need to reduce everything infinite to something objective if we're going to express it in some way. Not necessarily to understand, because understanding on the infinite side is possible. And that's how I started getting into these ideas over 30 years ago, by learning how to empty my mind and then allowing something to come through into my consciousness that wasn't as a finite thought. It was just an immense feeling. Immense perhaps isn't the word. Significant, deep. And the process involved for me was emptying the mind, allowing ideas to come in, and then attempting to identify them, describe them without using words, pictures, or anything else of that sort, simply by a feeling of what they are. Feeling is not really the ideal word in this situation, but I can't think of any other at the moment. But this state of consciousness is not when feeling in the emotional sense. It's feeling in the sense of being in a state of total awareness of an idea. This isn't about feeling in terms of horror, bliss, surprise, anything of that sort. This is feeling in pure abstraction. Anyway, there we are. This is the basis. This is the only reality, the white. This is not a space. It is a state. So it's important to realize we're not dealing with volumes here. There is no such thing as space. It's a mechanism that creates the feeling of space, the experience of space. But that could be more than enough to fill a video on it in its own right. Now, this is active consciousness in the light. This state is its opposite. The dark, the shadow, the sleep state, the unconscious state. This is not light. It's not something in itself. It has no separate existence, but it is the arena in which everything that we experience is created. We experience this universe in the light, in here, but we create it in here. Now, this is obviously on a superficial level, this is duality, because you've got two states. Duality means dual, means two. But this is not really, it doesn't exist in an active state, because this is active consciousness. There is nothing outside of active consciousness. This is the sleep state. So how does non-duality come into it? Well, it comes into it because the shadow and everything that is generated within it exists as an aspect or thought in the light purely through implication. It is implied. This is the foundation of what the physicist David Bohm referred to as the implicate order. This is, if you like, the origin of the implicate order, because everything in shadow, which includes us and the world, all that we know, exists from the light's point of view, which is the only reality, purely as an idea, and it does not exist in reality. It is implication. Now, another word for implication is entanglement, and because quantum physics has become very popular in recent years, and entanglement is one of the fundamental mechanisms used in quantum physics, particularly things like quantum computing and applications. So everything that we know appears to be in a dual state, having both shadow and light within it, but only the light is real and exists. The shadow does not. The shadow is purely an idea. It is implied. Its existence is implied, but not actual. There is no actual state of shadow. So you could say that we are a what if. You know, if this has been developed to create a virtual reality game, which we exist in, and as individuals, we don't really exist as what we appear to be. We are just ideas, and our existence is implicated. In other words, what it means is that if we did exist, this is what we would be. This is how we would live. This is how we would act. This is how we would behave and think. All of that is purely by implication of the idea that each one of us represents. So that is non-duality.